Welcome to Pride Against Prejudice, a Shadowrun 4th edition actual play podcast.
Hi, I'm Simon and I'm playing Huggy Bear.
Hi, I'm Al and I'll be playing Maverick.
Hi, I'm Jack and I play Toyga.
Hi, I'm Michael and I'll be playing Sunshine.
Hi, my name is Rosie, pronouns they, them, and I'm playing Sally Boom Boom, pronouns she, her.
And my name is Rhydian, I am the GM. If you would like any bonus content, a link to our living campaign map can be found in the show notes, along with a link to our Discord where you can get occasional bonus episodes, and if you'd like to add locations to the map or just ask us questions, you're welcome to join us there. If you stick about for a few seconds at the end of the episode, we also have a question for you as well. Following content may contain themes and materials not suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Before we dive into the episode, here's some pay data on another one of the Shadowrun podcasts out there for you to listen to.
Well, good morning, Golden City. Cheryl Starr here to bring you the latest updates on what's happening in our beautiful Golden City. Up first, how the Golden City was voted safest city in Naratova, and how our own Golden City Guard is making an impact. Up next, the Megacorps. Which ones are on the rise and how they are here to help you. And lastly, coming to you in the next hour, which companies are on a hiring...
Hoi hoi, chummers, this is Edda Sparks coming at you from the shadows. Now, this bull dreck that the Golden City is pushing about how safe it is here in the city is all nothing. The corporations ain't here to help you. There's something going on, my friends, in the shadows. And if you want to know more, stay tuned to What the Dice, releasing on every major podcasting platform on Fridays and on YouTube.
Turns out that a friend of the team, Sally Boom Boom, has been arrested and needs sprung from jail. Can the team pass themselves off as cops, get the data they need, and perform a jailbreak under the noses of NYPD Inc?
Right, what? Yes, if she's been arrested, I would be somewhat surprised if she wasn't in a police station. Which police station?
I managed to find out about the job. You were, as I said, kneecaps were involved. She's in the 49th. She got picked up last night. This kind of dreck, they usually do the trial later on in the day, so we need to get her out soon, man. I'm stressed, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Right. Flag.
Look, I can do you some new yen to get her out, I mean, she's one of us, you know?
I don't think that there's going to be a major issue persuading the others to add this to the plan, but it's going to need to be added to the plan.
Oh, I mean, plans can change, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh,
Look,
Huggy.
we're going to get out. We just need a little bit of time to improvise.
Alright, thanks, Huggy, thank you so much. She's a good friend, you know?
Yeah, I know. And she's done us solid in the past. So, I think we can arrange something.
Oh, thank frag for that. Look, I can wire you guys 5k each for it. Just as a thank you. I know it's a little bit less than you guys usually work for, but I've not got a lot of scratch on hand right now, you know, cash flow problems and all that.
Yeah, I get you.
Oh,
right.
There's not a lot more information I got. I'm sorry, Shama. I just know she's at the 40, and I managed to find out. Oh God, that conversation with Lucas and Dean's gonna be interesting.
Rather you than me.
They'll get it. But I might have to buy them something nice. And oh God, they've got expensive tastes. Their mum's nice, but. Frag me, did she have to show those two the finer things in life, you know?
I think we're getting away from the conversation.
I think we are. It's... yeah, she's in the 49th. She's probably going to be moved out of there, I guess, tomorrow if they follow the usual pattern, but thank you, Huggy. I better let you get to it.
Yes, you better. I've got a lot of work to do tonight, apparently. Right. So, can you see if there are any sons that are willing to act as a bit of backup if we need it?
I know some guys. What are you needing them? You don't know that yet either.
No, but I might need somebody to turn up somewhere and shoot someone.
Oh yeah, they'll be down for that. I mean, that's just Tuesday.
Yeah, but I need Tuesday to be on my direction. So, see if you can get some people together. I don't know if I need them, but I might need them.
Alright, I'm on it. I'll drop you a text when I got something.
Thank you. Fucking hell, it had to happen tonight. Right. Let's get this drag show on the road.
So, while that phone call's been going on, the rest of you are in the police chief's office and they've just been reviewing your orders. Is there anything else that you're wanting to say to them or do while you're in there? Largely, she just looks tired of the bulldrek that she's being put through today.
We're at the 49th. This is something that Toyga should have remembered, but Jack does not. We're at the 49th, aren't we?
You are indeed. You're currently stood in the precinct chief's office and she's just reviewed your orders.
And she a captain or a lieutenant or a...
Yes, she is a captain.
So, how do we look back at, what it says about Toyga? Toyga's thing is that he's meant to be quite, decorated and quite good at conflict resolution, so... Captain, don't let it get in the way of whatever you had planned to have us doing today, but I'd be interested in speaking to the magician that is in charge of those two things you have floating overhead. It's an interesting binding job. I will be honest, I've never seen anything quite like it. I'm just very interested in how that works. Based on what I know of magic, those things are about 30 seconds away from going on the rampage.
She raises an eyebrow and says, I leave magic to people of your talents. I'm sure that one of them will probably be willing to talk to you. I can't remember if this week's duty rota was one of ours or one of our valued colleagues from the FBI.
I'd be fascinated to speak to whoever it was, and then...
I'm sure you can ask around. I do not care.
Superb, wonderful, thank you very much.
Is there anything else that you need to make me aware of before going to your duties? Anybody that you've particularly pissed off recently? Any politics that's going to land on my doorstep?
No, ma'am.
I love to hear that. Perfect. Go on. Go talk to somebody in shift command and they'll get you assigned.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Indeed, ma'am. At this point, so we've all got sub-vocal microphones. Toyga hops on his and says, if I can find out whoever bound these spirits, I might be able to unpick it and cause a distraction if needed.
Were we clued in on the call with,
Not yet.
Not yet.
Right.
At this point, you get a frantic text from Huggy saying, guys, I think Sally Boom Boom is in there with you and we're going to need to get her out.
Sally.
Pardon, Frag?
Orc girl, beautiful eyes, nice tusks.
Sally got picked up the other day, or earlier today. She is being held in this precinct, in the precinct you are currently in, and is probably going to be moved out tomorrow. We have tonight to get her out.
Oh, fragging wonderful. As if this plan wasn't complicated enough. Okay.
Heaven forfend our lives be easy.
Now, technically, this is an optional job. I am not considering it particularly optional from my point of view.
Noted.
If any of you have objections to us adding this to our work rota, then you may voice them. This is not a dictatorship.
We getting paid?
Yes.
Alright, I guess we're doing it.
$5,000 apiece.
That's not much for a rescue job.
No, but we are already in the building.
And it's a rescue job on someone who's helped us in the past and could potentially help us again in the future. It's asset attainment.
Yes, think of it this way. If we pull this off, we probably have got into the good books of the mom lot. We're getting into the good books of the sons, and we're getting into the good books of Sally.
That's quite a lot of goodwill.
Okay.
This is an investment opportunity.
It's really not in our interests for Sally to be taken off the board and put in some corpo prison.
Also, Sally can connect us to what is probably the third biggest terrorist incident in New York in the last couple of months.
Disappointing how far down the list our acts of terrorism are getting. We need to step up our game, guys.
Blame that on my ex.
I do. I blame many things on your ex. The weather, dropping things I don't mean to drop, spells going awry, IBS.
It's definitely top 5 terrorist acts.
We need to get better at this, guys. I refuse to be.
Don't! We're already too good. Stop playing.
I refuse to be shown up by some elf poser in a bad wig.
It's not wig, it's fibre optic hair, you Philistine. Bloody Luddite tech.
I've seen bad wigs. I've seen bad fibre optic hair. I've seen good fibre optic hair. Whatever's going on in her head is a crime against humanity. Anyway,
You say in or on.
Okay, Toygar, you know the thing where, if I say it's okay, but it's not when you say it? This is one of those situations. Shut the frag up.
I'm allowed to hate people, but shutting up, yes. What was I going to say? Remind me.
So, while you're having this furious conversation over DNI, direct neural interface, the guy who was waiting outside the captain's office, he's just smoking a cigarette and watching you and says, "Are you done? Can we get this over with?"
Oh, right, yes, sorry. Some stuff we hadn't wrapped up from 99th.
Do I want to know?
No.
Probably not, unless you want in on the betting pool.
Might take you up on that later. Anyway, shall we get you over to shift command?
Go on then.
When you go in, there's some admin staff, and there's a very harassed looking guy in an office that just screams, well, his suit screams, fed. And you get shoveled into another office with, yep, this is a corporate middle manager. Oh god, this is clearly his first job out of an Ares university, or maybe an Evo university, something like that.
Or whatever vats they grow these guys in.
Yeah, his degree will be in fragging corporate management or something, even though he's never managed a human being or met a human being in his life.
Sunshine is probably the first woman he's ever seen.
I mean, a little harsh. There's probably a lot of lassies on his course.
No. You don't have men or women at those courses. You have proto suits. But their first tie hasn't quite come in yet.
Damn it, Toygar, this isn't that episode of Doctor Who. People don't just, spawn clothing.
That's what you think.
Are you my mommy?
He's overflowing with enthusiasm. When you come in, he says, "Hi, my name's Edward. My door's always open. It's a pleasure to see you here at the 49th. Can I take a look at your skills list so that we can properly get you assigned in the best working environment for you?"
Oh god, I can smell the soap.
Yeah, I put on my best, bullshit smile. Absolutely, great to meet you. Was it Edward?
It was. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Maya Nakamura. E-Crimes.
Ah, wonderful.
Just in from 99.
Oh, I've heard stories. Anyway.
They're all true, I assure you.
The corporate mask slips for just a moment and his eyes widen slightly.
Especially.
Even the one with 3 greased pigs and a ferret.
It was a very strange office party. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yes. So, yes, let's get you assigned to the exciting and dynamic world of e-crimes. So you'll find most of them in the, well, they're in with most of our fellow officers. Well, I'm not an officer, but it feels like a family here. They're right in the middle of where the other officers are, so we'll be able to take you over there shortly.
Rid, I just took 2 stun damage. The player took 2 stun damage from that level of corporate grease.
Also,
So I will need a name for the head of e-crimes because I'm a dingus and didn't think of it.
Sergeant Jeremy Milton.
Okay, Jeremy Milton.
He's a dwarf.
All right.
It's the first wig you have ever seen. No one can talk about it. He has made it very clear that he has all of his own hair, and, you know...
Will not be answering questions at this time, thank you.
Yeah, so... yes, so you'll be working under Sergeant Jeremy Milton. He's our head of e-crimes. He's also the building spider, so he's always watching. Yes, we'll get you assigned. And you, my not as tall as I expected fellow, he says, looking at Mav. What about you? What's your speciality?
Officer James O'Connor, specialty in leadership, street work.
What's leadership and street work? Anything else? What sort of, do you do anything else?
I was being groomed for HTR.
Lovely. Well, we can certainly assign you with the other HTR members if you like. There's also openings in patrol. You said you were being groomed for HTR. Is there something I should know about?
Mav looks uncomfortable. I did not pass qualification.
I see. We'll get you settled in with patrol. Yes. So yes, you'll be working under BB. He doesn't like his real name, Brian Barnabas. Just stick with BB and you'll be fine. Yes. Also, if he says he wants to talk about it, tell him you're busy.
Noted.
And I'm guessing that you, with I can see it coming through the makeup. Good effort on trying to make an excellent first impression, though. But we know that you magical types have your little foibles, so we'll get you assigned with our magical crimes division. But you'll also be working under BB to begin with, though. So he'll get you settled in and help you find your way around.
Toya just sort of smiles. Like, it's one of those smiles that's like, oh yeah, baring the teeth is a threat in most animals' smiles, but, you know.
So, are you just heading off to your different departments, or are you doing something else?
Think so, yeah.
Right, Sunshine's gonna have to poodle about the system, see if she can find out where we keep prisoners. Mav and I can try and bust her out and cause a distraction. Also, since Sunshine's going to be an e-crime, she's going to have best access to the...
I take it this conversation is taking place over DNI. You're not just doing it in front of the corporate shill.
You're not doing it in front of the corporate shill.
And he's just sat there going, I'm in danger!
Hi, we're Shadowrunners.
Pleased to meet you.
Today is not your day.
Yeah, we're just going to stand right in front of him and say, yeah, what are we going to do about this corpo? You know, I like his jacket. Do you want his boots? Margaret starts to opens his mouth, looks at his teeth. I can do with a couple of the molars.
Ooh, there's a gold one in there.
Yeah, when you come out of his office, the police officer that was guiding you around is, well... He's kind of half-heartedly flirting with the receptionist behind the desk, who's... she's fairly eloquently rebuffing the advance. You get the feeling that this is just... There's no actual harm in it, they're both just really bored. And he looks up at you as you come out, chucks the cigarette that he'd lit up earlier on the floor, stamps it out, and she's just looking at it going, oh, yeah, really? And he looks at you and says, "So, are you all done with the little grease stain then?"
Yep. Every station's got one.
God, he's odious.
I mean, this one seems fairly harmless. I mean, he's better than Ron.
Oh, do I want to know about Ron?
No.
Have you ever seen someone pop a pimple and then hit the opposite wall?
Are we talking stick something horrible through the opening on his locker when he's out? Or are we talking righteous justice?
More the first rather than the second.
Alright, so you're not needing to put oranges in socks. Fair enough. Alright, who are you assigned under?
I'm with E-Crimes, this mob are with BB.
Alright, BB's okay. Come on, we can drop you off at E-Crimes on the way. Oh, little thing?
Mm-hmm.
Officer Milton?
Yep.
Just don't look at the toupee. Just don't mention it.
You're the second person who's very carefully not mentioned that.
He's very proud of it, and he's a grumpy little Dreckstain. Come on.
Alrighty.
So yeah, he takes you through, and...
So this toupee, are we talking burst fiber optic bundle or dead raccoon?
We're talking live raccoon.
Oh dear.
You're getting taken to your work assignments. Do we want to do BB or E-Crimes first?
Do you want to do BB?
Sure.
Yeah, so when you go through to BB's office, he's a large human. He still seems to be in his security armour, typing up a report. He's taken his gauntlets off. Looks up at you as you come in and says, I'm going to say that Sunshine's with you for now. As you come in, he looks up at you and he says, "I don't recognise you. Fresh fish?"
Yes, sir.
Well, you've still got the polish attached to you. That, or you're trying to make a good impression. How long have you been doing this?
8 years, sir.
Which precinct have you come over here from?
99th, sir.
You poor fragger. Alright. Are all three of you from the 99th?
Yep.
Yes, indeed, sir.
The corporate shill's given you the bright and shiny, cheery smile, has he?
Always.
Yep.
Bright as brass.
Brass, at least, is nice to look at. Okay, you've spoken to the captain, have you? She knows you're here?
Yes, sir.
She does, sir.
Arctic, don't frag up, and you won't need to talk to her again unless you do something incredibly clever. Whether that's good clever or bad clever, I'll leave to your discretion. If you're going to frag around, don't get caught. If you're going to take bribes, keep it sensible and don't let me catch you. Any questions?
When we start, sir.
Please, stop with the keen. Been doing this 8 years. Knock it off.
So, are we to stand here looking beautiful, or do you have something for us to do?
Let me see your orders. Come on, hand them over.
Hands them over. AR happens.
I'm just going to roll a quick perception check for BB.
Please don't.
Yeah, he looks your orders over. He flicks through a couple of pages. Well, you've been assigned to a dead-end case, haven't you?
Let me guess. It was all over the news a couple of months ago. Now everyone's forgetting about it.
Like they do with anything. Hell, the fact it stayed in people's memory this long is impressive. Everyone's talking about that damn bridge now. Half the station's been reassigned to that. Mind you, as technology are crawling all over that one. But fortunately, we're not with the Big Ten, and they in part pay our wages, so we don't have to worry about it too much. Okay, look, I'm going to be honest with you. It's mostly just going to be working a desk. If you're okay with that, you'll be fine. If you'd rather be doing something else, just do your time, eat your porridge, bugger off when they reassign you. Understood?
Sir?
Indeed.
Okay. He nods at Sunshine. You'll be over with Jeremy in E-Crimes. It's just across the corridor. I'll knock on the door for you and introduce you in a minute. You, he points at Mav. You're going to be going through witness statements. It's just categorizing them, looking for common trends. You know how it goes. You, He points at Toiger. They're probably going to want, some of those FBI asshats are probably going to want to talk to you since you're the magic boy. They'll want you to ascent some stuff or do some finger wiggling or something like that. Don't tell them any more than you have to. They're all assholes. They'll steal your credit. And if anything goes wrong, it's your fault. Any questions?
Does the FBI not have their own pet magicians? Do they need to steal ours? Is that...
Apparently they're off doing important FBI things instead of actual police work.
Didn't realise having a wank counted as important FBI things. The more you learn.
Yeah. Some of the dreck that Jeremy found on their terminals. Anyway, any other questions?
No, sir.
Just what I wanted to hear apart from the sir part. Right.
He's a lieutenant, isn't he? He gets sir.
That doesn't mean you have to like it.
He just seems to be incredibly matter-of-fact about things. So yeah, Mav, you just get stuck in an office with another police officer, Officer Daniels. He's alright. He's a nice enough guy, kind of dull. Shows you a picture of his wife and kids. And he starts handing you... If this was the mid-20th century, it would just be a desk overflowing with paper. But fortunately, this is a more civilized era, and he just hands you a Trode net so that you can start reviewing them in VR. Toiger, you get taken down the hall to where the FBI are all hanging out and introduced to an Agent Anthony Williams. He's an elf. Seems to be uptight even by elf standards. Doesn't really want you there, but whatever. And he starts handing you... looks like fragments of the bomb and the BBs that were in it and stuff like that for you to assense, and writing reports about what went on and stuff like that. Your impressions based on those and things like that. And he's also getting really, really angry with you for how badly you write the reports and things like that. Sunshine.
Yo.
You get taken over to the Matrix department. As BB said, it's just over the corridor.
Cool.
And you get introduced to Jeremy, who is a sergeant. And oh god, that toupee is bad. Oh god. If he wasn't a dwarf, you wouldn't notice it as much. But because you're taller than him and the rest of his hair's going grey, and he's clearly gone with his original hair colour, and oh god, it looks bad.
Hi.
He comes out of VR. He and 4 other deckers that are in here, they're sat in what look like dentist chairs with their VR gear on. And he comes out of VR, blinks for a few seconds, and says, Oh, thank frag. They actually assigned me someone.
Looks that way.
What's your name?
Maya.
Well, Maya, what have they got you assigned on? Or are you here for something in particular, or have they got you just doing whatever?
Transferred over from 99. Yeah. Look, the stories are all true, okay? Yes, even the one about the greased pig. It was a very weird day.
I wasn't going to ask about that one. I was going to ask about the one with the space hopper and the panther cannon.
Yeah, there's still an office on the 4th floor that has never been made safe.
I mean,
you go in again.
Did that guy really do that thing with the panther cannon?
Yeah.
While on a space hopper?
Yep.
See, if I was there, I'd have bought him a beer. Anyway, what have they got you assigned on?
Let's have a look. And I pull up the transfer order. Yep, so looks like I've been put on that dead end Pride bombing case, which I gather the Federal Bureau of Incompetence is busy fragging up and not going anywhere with.
Oh my god, those guys, they do not know how to run a database. Jesus, frag me Christ.
Oh, let me guess. They probably started with a spreadsheet, right?
Oh, yeah, well, see, I wouldn't... If it was just alphanumeric data, it would be a pain in the ass, but fine. Start with a spreadsheet, and then we can get it onto the database and we can get it all nice. But who the frag uses a spreadsheet for images and VR data?
Oh, great. They'll be putting biometrics in there next. God, they did, didn't they? They did. I can tell. I just saw that in your face. Fine show. All right.
Look, what we're working on at the moment, it's not massively interesting, but hey, the boring stuff isn't too bad. You punch your time cards, you go home, you try not to think about what you have to watch on the video.
Yep, been there, done it.
Yeah, look, we're just categorizing a lot of the data at the moment after... Would you believe they had a fragging intern on this? Would you believe
I would.
Would you believe the stupid little fragger deleted the production database?
Oh, lovely.
I have spent the last 2 weeks rebuilding that.
Oh, that's the fragging bureau of imbeciles for you. Don't worry, I got plenty more of those coming.
I would ask exactly what you mean, but I don't want to know. Let's just get your login sorted. So yeah, you guys all settle into a day of the most boring of boring police work. Could I get a police procedures roll from each of you to see how well you manage to pass yourselves off as a cop?
Sure.
2 hits.
Oh, hey, I'm in patrol.
You are.
Specialization, go.
1 hit.
I suppose I could roll like magical theory on top of this, or am I stuck with police procedures?
Actually, roll your magic theory, then roll the number of hits you get. Before you do that, though, Mav, how many hits did you get, please?
5.
Nice.
4 more.
Okay, so roll 4 additional dice there, Toiga.
2.
Okay, so with 4 hits overall there, Toiga, this other magician, he's hermetic, and while your police knowledge seems to be a little bit lacking, your magical knowledge is damn good. But you're coming at it from opposite perspectives, and you're spending a lot of time having screaming matches over how this should go, as he's cracking out the chalk and the dribbly candles to draw sigils and getting out the maths textbooks. How's Toiga responding to this?
Sorry, is that supposed to be Adelbrand's pentacle? I could draw a better one with the piece of chalk held between my buttocks. Who taught you to desaturate a primus? Nobody, evidently.
And how would you know that? You're one of those shamans who go, "Ooh, spirits are our friends." No, they're not. They're just magical energy. They aren't sentient, you absolute heretic.
I'm sorry, why don't you go to Harvard and get a minor in magical theory and then speak to me about...
Oh, a minor in magical theory. I went to Columbia and I got a major in it.
Ooh, la-di-da. I can see how well that served you. Can't even draw a circle properly. Heavens above. I suppose it's you that's responsible for those things floating above, are you?
Those are the pinnacle of applied arithmancy made manifest, you absolute savage. You'll be dancing around my office, banging a drum and flapping your bollocks in the wind next.
Oh, I don't for 1 minute doubt that they are the pinnacle of your ability. That's plainly evident. I could restrain them more effectively with a piece of...
Pinnacle of my ability? Those were a Tuesday morning. I can't be bothered because I haven't had my soy calf yet job. And they're still better than anything you could summon, you blasted blue-tooting shaman!
Okay, both Reed and Toiga are getting karma for that.
The worst thing is, this screaming match is happening on the opposite side of the station, so we can't hear it.
if it's loud enough, you probably can.
Yeah, but subvocal mics are a thing.
Is Tiger just broadcasting his half of this argument on our...
Probably, because the guy's a tech incompetent.
With 5 hits there, Mav, you're completely and absolutely believable as a police officer. The guy in the office is handing you work. You're comparing witness statements. They're very dull.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just categorizing them, marking similarities in them, and entering these into the control database. It is incredibly dull, but you are completely and absolutely believable as a police officer.
Is Officer Williams working in VR?
Yes, you're both working in VR. The VR environment itself...
For one, Mav is probably accessing it through AR because he's faster that way.
Fair enough.
4 initiative passes in meat space.
You have a choice. They're not particularly fussed about which one you used as long as things get done. VR's preferred, but if you're quicker in AR, they're quite happy for you to use AR.
While my new best friend is off in VR space, I'm gonna lean down to the floor and put down a tapper bug and double, triple, and quadruple check which channel I'm transmitting in before I message Huggy, setting my micro tapper bug active now, and then I get on to work.
Alright, and Sunshine with 1 hit.
I am not having the best day.
No, you're having a very bumpy first day. You're having one of those days where, because you're not actually a member of NYPD Inc., you don't actually have a login, and they just can't work out why they can't find it, and they can't work out why it's not working, and Sergeant Milton is just getting more and more irritated with it. And eventually, they do actually manage to find your employee number, but it's just a whole aggro and hassle, and eventually they get you logged in. But you've got all the wrong accesses, and you're basically just spending the day going round and round and round their application self-service system, trying to apply for access to systems, and it's just a pain in the ass.
Oh, joy.
They believe you're a police officer, but you're getting no police work done. This is all Decker work, which actually you kind of know how to do it, but it's just stuff that a first day intern could do. So it's just frustrating.
Okay. Just a bad day at the office. At the new office. These happen. Sorry about this, guys.
Sergeant Milton sends you a message over VR saying, look, it happens. I am going to be having words with HR after this. For a start, they've misspelt your name on the system. Your SYN and the system don't match up. How the hell did the 99th get you onto the system? Did this happen last time?
I mean, I was at 99 for 6 years. I don't remember my first day. I don't know. You don't even want to know what the 99 IT system looked like. You just don't. Frag me. It was...
I mean, I did hear stories.
Yeah, they're all true.
Including the one with the sniffer ice.
Yep, and the Sprite.
Oh, I don't know the one about the Sprite. Oh
no.
This is going to be good.
No, we're not talking about the Sprite today. I am not nearly drunk enough.
No. You, me, after work, bottle of whiskey. I have to hear this.
Are we talking the fizzy drink? Or are we talking a fairy? Or are we talking Technomancer bullshit?
Technomancer bullshit.
The worst kind of Sprite.
We're talking Technomancer bullshit, but we're also talking about the soft drink.
Yeah, might not be a Sprite in and vodka.
Hold the Sprite.
Yeah, you've all settled into a very boring workday. Get on with it.
I'm having a wonderful time. I'm going to have a screaming match with someone.
Yeah. After about an hour, he's throwing grimoires at you.
So at one point, it's got to the point where he's like throwing grimoires and Toiga's swatting them away. At one point, he chucks a grimoire with one hand and like a minor spell with the other, and Toiga just manages to swat them both out the air with a very dramatic hand gesture. But while he does that, he throws the tapper drone towards the computer, and then sub-vocally says, "Tapper drone's away, Huggy, you're good to go." And that turns into, "Who taught you to match foundation with your skin tone? The same person that taught you about decoupling your primary canticles, evidently. Your face, neck, and ears, 3 different colours."
After a while, there's a god almighty bang on the door, and there's an older Hispanic guy who looks into the room and says, "What the hell are you doing in this office right now? Some of us are trying to work."
This quack is presuming to tell me how to do my job.
This quack is the head of magical services in this investigation right now. If you're going to stay on this investigation, put up, shut up, do as you are told, and do whatever the hell it is you finger-wiggling weirdos do, but do it quietly. If you're going to have this kind of argument, put on Trode nets and do it over DNI so that I don't have to listen to it.
So I've been insulted by the head of magical investigations, but that's already devolved into a screaming match. This random I've never met before has come in and started screaming at me. Do I have to roll vindictive to not, curse him immediately?
I would say no, because he's kind of annoyed at both of you, and he's just asking you to shut the frag up. He's not actually attacking Toiga personally, he's just saying, shut up. So, take it how you will.
So Toiga sort of just takes a minute and takes a deep breath. I don't think he quite had the shamanic mask up, but the beginnings of it was starting to show, and that's petering out now. Toiga's shamanic mask, as he starts developing spots and stripes that glow, they weren't fully visible, but there was an inkling of them. Those disappear as shadow shrinks back down to its normal size. Things stop rumbling on tables, and he just says, "Yes, sir."
Thank you. And you. He turns to look at the guy you were arguing with. Oh, what name did we give him? Remind me.
We didn't give him a name. It was just the head of magical research, the elf and the lovely Gorget.
Fair enough. He just turns around and says, "And you. If you keep shouting at shamans like this, I'm going to put you on another sensitivity training course. Do you really fragging want me to do that?" And there's just this very, very quiet, "No, sir." Good. If you're going to do this, do it quietly. And he just slams the door so hard that another couple of grimoires fall off the shelves as he leaves.
Hold on a minute, is that Tancred's 4th treatise there? How did you get a copy of this? I've been hunting for this for weeks.
It might have involved an astral quest.
Oh no, this I need to hear.
And suddenly you're friends.
Don't suppose you've got anything that's not soy calf in here, do you?
I've got tea.
Tea. Like tea from a tea bush.
Well, jasmine, but...
Jasmine as in the flower, as in the plant.
Yeah?
I take back 60% of the mean things I said about you. Now tell me more about this astral quest. I like the necklace, by the way. It's a very nice touch. Is it a focus or is it very ornamental?
So...
Okay, mental whiplash.
Alright, so Toiga's got his tapper drawn away.
And made a friend.
Somehow.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. Huggy, could I get a vehicle control roll for your fly spy? This is just to get a feel for how well they do, and can I get an infiltration after that as well, please?
Given that they're doing this on their own, I'm going to run them on autonomous for the first.
Yeah, so it'll be a pilot roll or something similar. Maneuvering, that'd be the one.
Oh god. I'm going to post edge that.
Okay, how many hits was that, please?
That was one hit.
Ooh, yeah. I can see why you want to post edge that.
That's another hit. Well, 2 hits will have to do.
Okay. I'm going to say that the one that Toyga released got crushed by a grimoire, but the other 2 get away.
No.
Oh, yeah, this is your pilot roll. Cool.
That's 4 hits.
Oh, yeah, you managed to burrow these things thoroughly into the walls, and you can go pretty much wherever you want in the building. It'll take time, but you can get to where you need to be. Where are you heading for?
Well, first of all, try and find the central information archive.
You were previously provided with a map on which had a server room on it. The other thing that was on that map was a satellite uplink on the roof, which we did mention it before, but it's been a few weeks since we played that session.
So yes, I want to find that server room, and I am going to send one of them to try and find the holding cells.
Okay, so it takes you a while. Mav is bored stupid, and Sunshine is going, I've already applied for this system 4 times. Why won't you work?
Your blue hair will be grey by the time we next see you.
Please reset your password. Your password has been reset successfully. Please enter your password. Incorrect password. Please reset your password. Ah!
It actually reaches the point where Jeremy tries, and he gets so frustrated that he actually throws his toupee across the room, does the quick look around to see if anyone's noticed. Everybody has, and goes and quickly puts it back on again like nothing happened.
No, he goes to go get it and it scuttles away and has to be caught with a net. I think crawl, it scuttles.
Yeah, when he puts it back on, it's slightly squint as well, and it's just that kind of that looks bad.
If I have learned anything from my previous career, it's not to comment on people's appearances.
Toyga, you're alternating between incredibly civilized discussion and whispered screaming match with this guy. There just seems to be no middle ground for this relationship. It's all or nothing.
Anthony, you are jabbering incompetent with marvellous taste in jewellery.
Yep, been in a few relationships like that.
Michael, you are squawking incompetent, but I love what you've done with your hair. Toyga is like Michael.
Did a character end up with the same first name as a player?
Yeah, Michael Sullivan. That is Toyga.
Yeah, because that's not going to get confusing at all, darling.
He is henceforth known as Sully.
It says Michael on the birth certificate, like he goes by Mitch. Mitch or Sully.
So, you do, after a while, manage to get your drone into the server room. I'll come back to that one later. In the meantime, you do manage to get another one into the cells. It's in the ceiling tiles, and it can kind of peek out from underneath them and see what's going on. And, yep, you can see Sally in there. At this point, Sally, you've got 3 boxes of physical damage from the beating that you were given when they brought you in.
Mm-hmm.
The cells stink right now. The guy in the cell next door to you, yeah, he was brought in drunk shortly after you, and he's thrown up several times. They've slopped out his cell, then he's thrown up again, and they've just, oh God, it's bad. And across from you is a psychotically racist humanist ganger who just keeps screaming abuse at you.
You sure it's a ganger and not an officer?
Yeah, you're having to share the cells with this lovely individual. He's just got all of the facial tattoos going on, and he's gone bald at the front, and the tattoos run up there. And he's got like short braids that don't come down to shoulder length. And his beard is really patchy, and he's tried to braid this as well, but it's only like little 1-inch braid, and it's just they're all up one side, not the other. It's just
Well, that is certainly a choice.
That's certainly a look.
His mother must be very proud. His beard's braided, oh my god.
oh god, it looks bad, and you've just been getting a night of him screaming abuse at you, like, "You're gonna die, Trog! They're gonna make you ride the lightning!" And other crap like that.
Right.
He's just spent the entire night getting himself worked up and just frothing at you.
Is he in the same cell as Sally?
He is in the cell opposite you, so you're in full view of each other.
Okay. Is there a guard watching us actively?
They're watching you on the cameras, but
Yeah.
other than that, nah. They only really come in on occasion to bang on the cell doors and tell the inmates to shut the frag up. They're trying to watch the game. They don't really care about the fact he's screaming abuse at you. They're just annoyed that they can't hear the score.
Okay. What material is the cell? Is the cell? Is it kind of? I know it would be concrete, but is it sort of? What kind of like material is it?
It's all just plasticrete and steel. Like
Okay.
the front is steel bars. Both you and the other ganger, they put you both in there in just like your underwear to stop you trying to hang yourself or something, taking away your shoelaces, all of that business. There's no blankets or anything. It's just a bare plasticrete slab for a bed and a steel toilet.
Okay. And are there? You said there's a toilet.
Yep.
Okay. Sally, I think for most of this, Sally has just been kind of sitting, and what she has that very intense stare where her irises are slightly too small, so you can see a lot of white around her eyes, kind of permanently. It's not a huge amount. It's just if you looked into her eyes long enough, you'd be unsettled.
Yeah.
And so she's just been sitting, staring at him with a completely neutral, maybe even pleasant expression on her face.
This just seems to wind him up more, and he's screaming about how the only bad thing about them taking you off to kill you is that he won't be there to watch, and how he wants to take your tusks for a necklace, and just, Jesus fragging Christ, shut the frag up.
Okay, right. So is there water in the loo?
So it's an American toilet, so they have more water in them than ours, so yeah.
Okay. She's going to scoop water from the loo into her hands and throw it across the aisle to try and hit him with her loo water, essentially.
Does Sally have throwing weapons?
Don't know, probably not, but at least some droplets will get on him at some point.
All right, fuck it. Let's see if this works. Roll me an agility -1.
Right, let me
Never thought I would be rolling for
No toilet water.
toilet water.
2.
Yeah, with 2 hits, you manage to get water all up his front. Some of it goes into his mouth, and he's spluttering, and yeah.
And as she does this, she just says, "You wee fucking bum! You think you can kick me? Come on, let's have you!"
Okay.
Yeah, he starts screaming back at you, and oh god, he's whipped down his pants, and he's trying to pee across the gap, and you're just screaming at each other until the booking sergeant comes in, yells at you both to shut the frag up, and he slams his nightstick down and just catches this guy's dick against the bars, and he just goes fetal and crawls into a corner. Could you make me a reaction roll, please?
What's he gonna do? Catch my vagina? I didn't get it out.
I mean, I was half expecting Sally to, when he whipped it out, Sally to scream, "Mine's bigger!"
Right, just straight reaction. Right,
Yeah.
Yep. 2. What the fuck?
So, please resist 7 stun electric, only on your body stat. So, roll body, please.
Okay, yeah, this is gonna...
Because you're not wearing your armor right now.
I'm not. This is gonna go well. Oh my god. Oh.
Alright, so, could have been worse. How many hits?
He's descended into Gallic at this point. Just oof.
How many hits was that?
So I rolled 4.
Yep, so with 4 hits, you'll be taking 3 stun as he just pokes you in the throat with his stun baton.
Oh, God. Yep.
And the guard just yells, "Shut the frag up! Halftime's nearly finished, and I want to watch the game!" And he just leaves the both of you in screaming heaps on the floor.
Yep. I think she's just because she got stunned like sort of through. I imagine she's practically like breathing steam because it's hot and the air is cold, so it's like ah. So it looks like she's full dragon at this moment.
As he's leaving, the custody sergeant looks in on the other guy in the cell next to you who's been puking and says, "Oh Christ, I'll get him another bottle of water. He has just been puking everywhere."
Yeah.
The sergeant actually does hurry back, and he's got a big 2-litre bottle of water, and he just sets it down just inside the cell bars for this other guy. And you can just hear this pained, "Thank you," from the cell next to you.
Oh dear. Okay. So the guy next to me wasn't the one that was shouting abuse. He was just a random guy.
No. He's just some poor drunk who's spent the whole night vomiting up his eternal soul.
Amateurs.
So Sally's day's going really well.
Fun. Plenty of fun.
How much of this can Mav hear? Because he's just through the wall.
Roll me a perception check.
Base perception. 3 hits.
Yeah, you can actually make out a fair amount of this, actually. The guy who's in the office with you, Mav, takes his strobe net off at one point, looks at you and says, "I have asked to transfer my office 5 times." That's not even the worst of it. That's a quiet day. Oh, God, could they at least not have installed soundproofing?
Mav just grins orkishly and gets back to work.
The guy just sighs and puts his strobe net back on. Okay, so we've now pretty thoroughly established the police station and its denizens at this point. Your problem now.
Oh God, now we actually have to work out how to do 2 runs in this place.
And I will say that you can converse over DNI.
So, if we can find out where Sally is, we could maybe...
She's in the cell next to my office.
I have found her.
Mav puts a marker on the map.
There seems to be some sort of commotion going on in the cells. I've turned off the sound recording on that tone for the moment because I need to be somewhat clear-headed, and I was becoming less clear-headed.
It doesn't sound particularly polite.
They are having a debate over some issues of protocol.
I don't have any plans for the... Shut the fuck up, Anthony! I don't have any plans. Next book you throw at me, you're not getting back. I'm stepping out.
I'll make it a basic primer for mathematicians.
No, thank you. I've got enough toilet paper. You hear a door slamming. We are coming back in here, and I'm killing him.
Sex is going to be incredible. I mean, how do you think me and Luna kept going for so long?
So, I hope you haven't forgotten that we're not actually here to do the jobs that you guys are currently doing. We are here to break Sally out of jail, and we are here to steal information.
That's a good point. What information have we been given access to on this place's matrix?
Right now, you're all working on stuff to do, well, Toiger isn't to do with the pride bombing. Toiger, you're nominally working on it, but you're mostly either having a screaming match or flirting, depending on who you ask.
Yeah, Toiger's had sex like 3 times in his life. He has no idea what's going on. He's very frightened.
I thought you said before he was ace.
He is. He's had sex 3 times and he's very frightened. I have a plan for getting Sally Boom Boom to a place of safety. You guys can deal with the pride bombing stuff. I am finding absolutely nothing here.
Have you been looking, or have you and your new friend just been doing whatever it is you mages do?
If I had a fortnight, a slide projector, and no longer needed to sleep, I could not explain to you how wrong this guy is about nearly everything to do with spirit summoning. He's...
I didn't want to know about spirit summoning. We want to know about the pride bombing.
Right, so pride bombing, they've got me looking at chunks of masonry trying to sense the emotional state behind the person who put them there.
They have also been handing you some fairly concerning evidence bags of possessions belonging to the people who were there.
I should probably have a wee look through them.
Yeah, when you sense them, the astral signatures, yeah, they're quite upsetting.
What do they look like? What's the vibes?
Let's just say that a lot of this is the clothes of the people who didn't get back up again after the bomb went off.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I am not going to go into details.
Yeah, so that's maybe why Toiger is so grumpy, maybe why Anthony's so grumpy as well. They've been looking at this for hours and it's driving them mad.
He's probably been looking at this Drek for weeks at this point.
I don't think it's actually on the character sheet or anywhere, but it's sort of headcanon it that Toiger is quite sensitive to these sorts of things, and like they do affect him a bit more than he lets on, and yeah, he's not doing so well. But yeah, they've had me sensing things from the pride bombing, things belonging to people, victims. I'm not going to get anything useful out of these. They want to know about the people that were wearing them, they were scared and in pain, and then they very suddenly weren't anymore. It's busy work. They give me busy work.
I mean, that sounds like office work to me, which is what you guys were sent in there to do, allegedly.
Yes, but imagine every time you turned over a sheet of paperwork, someone rubbed sandpaper up and down your face and then showed you a photograph of your parents fucking.
That's very emotive, as expected of you.
I know how... I think I know how we can get Sally out. I'm going to leave the actual policing to you guys. Basically, we've been trying to solve this crime at the 9 for however long. The suspect is an Irish orc. Oh, there we go. Let's take her home with us.
Except we are not at the 99 anymore. We've been reassigned.
I thought we were on like a temporary leave thing.
Now you've been reassigned.
Oh, shit. Oh, never mind.
Because what will happen then is they'll call up the 99 and say, hey, we've got that suspect you wanted. And they'll say, what?
That ain't gonna work.
So that would be a good way of doing. The other ways that we can do this is one of you can find out where she is being taken to next, and we can do what we do best, which is we hit the transport truck.
Or, as soon as someone opens her cell... Hang on, there's a door there.
There is a door to the lockup from the outside. It's on the map you were provided, though you've not had a look at this door in person.
I assume that's a fairly chunky door.
It would be logical to assume that.
It'll probably be a fire exit.
I mean, we've done that before. Pull the fire alarm, chain me to a chair, Matthew my bulbous cherub, etc., etc.
One time, I chained you to a chair one time.
In a building that was on fire.
It wasn't actually on fire, Tiger.
It could have been on fire.
It wasn't on fire that time.
Tiger, I understand you're stressed and you're currently very antagonistic, but we need to focus.
Okay, I need to learn how to do this magically. Focusing.
Right, so we need to get Sally... First of all, I think we need to get that information. Once we've got the information, we can I'm talking to some of my friends in the Suns to see if I can get a bit of a posse together. If we do that, then we can go with the old plan of, causing a distraction by shooting up the gang's territory. That might get some people out of there. At the same time, you can try and break her out. There are options. But first, I think we want to get that data.
Data first. That's why we're actually here.
We need to know who is leading this investigation and where this investigation is currently sitting.
Who was the guy who yelled at Toiger?
That's the point. I was going to suggest I'm going to go back inside, take a few deep breaths, and then maybe try and speak to Anthony for a little bit.
Okay. Before you do, though, Huggy, at this point, you get a text message from Huey that says, "Do you want the big lads or the really big lads?"
Depends on whether or not I'm paying them.
He texts you back saying, "They're doing this pro bono. She's a friend."
Then I want both.
Correct answer. Why was that even a question?
You just get an evil grin emoji back.
I know where Sally is. I can pinpoint her in a building. We're coming up with a plan to get her out.
Yeah, the evil grin emoji, it's a troll head.
Wonderful.
You were saying, Toiger.
So Toiger's going to take a few deep breaths. He's probably taken his cup of jasmine tea out with him. He's going to drink that in 2 or 3 little delicate sips. It's cool enough for that at this point. And then he turns around and goes back inside to...
Are you just walking out of the office, or are you going outside?
No, I just stepped out of the office into the corridor. I'm going to go back indoors. I'm sorry for storming out. I'm probably a little bit more sensitive to these things than I should be. How long have they had you looking at this stuff?
Sit down. He's already sat down, and he grabs a packet, opens it, lights 2 cigarillos and hands one to Toiger. And he says, "So, tell me, how long have you been a cop?"
A decade.
Alright, I'm an elf. We live a long time, and I started doing this in the 2050s. I have seen some Drek chummer you cannot imagine. I worked some of the UB cases.
Oh god.
Oh god.
UB?
Universal Brotherhood.
Oh right, yeah.
Dog spirits.
I have seen things. I have seen all of the nasty, nasty crap that can crawl out of the astral plane. I've been on the astral plane a couple of times, and I've been to some of the weirder metaplanes. Oh god, the one that was very Escher-like was fascinating, but vomit-inducing.
How was that man not awakened? I mean...
I think he might have been, but anyway, the point I'm making is that all kinds of crap crawls off the astral plane, and it does what it does for its own fragging reasons. But I'll tell you this, I have never seen such awfulness from the astral plane as I have from other metahumans. Deal with that long enough, and you'll end up like me.
And you wonder why spirits don't like it here.
Can we not discuss this? I've already told you they...
Let's not get back into this debate.
Never mind.
You really don't want to have another argument you're going to lose. And at this point, Toiger sort of gives a cheeky wee grin and winks a bit to show that he's hoping.
You can see one of the eyes twitching as he's trying not to scream at you again. And you can almost see him reaching for the book of formulae. And he eventually composes himself and says, "Look, just categorize it by how strong the emotions are, how close to the epicenter it was. And we can use that, hand it to the guys in the Matrix division. They will do whatever the frag it is that they do with those algorithms to build up a picture of what's going on, and we can maybe maybe get a trace of the guy that did it. And if we're very, very lucky, we can set a spirit on that. Whether they have feelings or not, they can find Drek.
Oh yes, that they can do. Have you come even close to finding anything? Like, they don't seem to be sending us the right stuff. Like, they've not given us any fragments of the bomb, they've not given us any of the shrapnel. This is all victim stuff. It's remarkably unlikely they're going to be able to tell us anything.
I don't know. It's a big task force. We're probably not even the only ones looking at this, Drek.
So Tori sort of like glances around at like the amount of it. It's like,
oh, it's boxes of it.
I was there. There was a lot. There's a great deal of this in this room. Like, are they running it out of other precincts? We don't have anything at the 99th, and I've got a couple friends in a couple other places. They've not had anything either.
Look,
I found out this morning that it was being run through you guys.
Sully, was it?
Sally, Mitch, whatever.
Mitch, Sully, frag it. Look, this is being handled partly through us and partly through NYPD Inc. Those foot sloggers wouldn't know how to conduct an investigation if you...
They can just about manage to arrest someone for driving while troll.
Yeah. They're on a corporate leash. They do whatever the corps tell them to. We follow the evidence. We're semi-independent. Yeah, we gotta do whatever the current UCAS president says, but at least we can look at it objectively. They're all about the money. This, frankly, they're not going to be on it in a couple of months' time anymore, because there's not going to be any profit in it for them. There's no political will. I mean, you know what the guy who set that bomb would call me? A fragging dandelion eater. A keeb. I got a stake in this. And I'm just glad that somebody who doesn't does. You know? Look, just...
2 points. I do have a stake in this, because these people are going after... We may not like each other, but we both have to live on this planet. I would rather we lived happily. And secondly... When the people... Yes, I know, I should be on the...
Oh, you're in the wrong job, chummer.
Secondly, when the people that did this get done with you, and they get done with the people with tusks, and the people with horns, and the people who are a little shorter than the rest of us, they're going to come after me next. And then when we run out of me to come after, we'll start getting some good old-fashioned racism you remember from when you were a little baby. And they care about skin colour.
Fortunately, I'm just about old enough to have not had to deal with that. Drac. Pointy ears was enough. Anyway, look, you're right. And for what it's worth, while your ideas about magic are pure lunacy, you're an alright person. But just sense what you can. Go for a coffee, go for a smoke. Do what you need to do to get through it. But let's just get this over with.
Oh, here. Right, that's so... My point from that was trying to figure out if there's anything useful coming from the magical side, and it seems like there isn't.
Roll me a perception check, please.
7 hit. Hell love.
Bloody hell.
You only rolled 9 dice.
So, someone's dice are on fire tonight.
Ah.
You dig through the mass of stuff, and a lot of it is just upsetting. We'll gloss over exactly what kind of shit you're finding. But you do find one thing. It's tucked away at the bottom of a box. It looks like an old armoured jacket, and half of it has just been torn away and it's got bloodstains, but there's a chunk of metal embedded in it that has... Roll me an A-sense.
Oh, 1 hit.
It's got... Unlike most of the stuff here, it's got different emotion attached to it. It's got determination, anticipation attached to it. It's like a little shard of metal no bigger than your fingernail. Little pinky fingernail.
Tony, I think I've got something. I didn't get anything off it. Do you want to give it a try?
He looks it over, and there's a lot of backwards and forwards. He senses it, and he looks quite excited, and basically tells you, right, enter it into the database. And he takes it, puts it in its own little bag, and then he goes out of the office, and you can hear a lot of talking in the corridor and stuff like that. And we're going to leave Toyga there for a little while. What are the others up to?
While Toyger's accidentally making a break in the case that we were just sent here to, like, find a status report. Talking of, you know how I'm, like, an initiative pass faster than everyone else who's working on this case?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start dicking around with, like, half my time. And by dicking around, I mean, what files have they given us access to?
Alright, do you have Analyze?
That is a program, isn't it?
It is.
It's one of the standard programs, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So you probably have it at R4.
I have rating 6.
Cool. Well, roll it.
Because it's my matrix defense, and that's the one thing I care about. Wrong window. Correct window. Frag you. I'm post-edging that.
Okay. Having got 0 hits
Having
on it.
got 0 hits. 2 hits.
Alright, so you're getting very, very basic stuff. You're not getting any details, like in-depth information or anything like that. But you do find one pertinent bit of information that you were paid to find out. The name of the person heading up the investigation.
Excellent.
The investigation appears to be under the direct control of the head of wider New York FBI, Davian Fender.
I take it I can find his, like, picture off the...
Yeah. He's a moderately well-known public figure as well. He's human, and as I say, he's the head of the FBI in New York City, not counting Manhattan, where he does not have jurisdiction because it's not actually a part of the UCAS anymore.
Because Manhattan is fully corporate.
Yes. However, in this case, the FBI, they've been invited in by the corporations as a neutral party to assist in the investigation.
Indeed. Right, I transmit that tidbit around the group. That's half our pay data right there. Sunshine, if you ever get Matrix access, have a better poke than mine.
I think I seem to be in now. Let me see what I can dig up.
Alright, so Sunshine, your day is actually starting to get better. You've finally got an access, and they've got you onto the control database. Just, it's dull. You've got this huge pile of data, and you're needing to categorize that, and once you're categorizing it, you're subcategorizing it. The bit that they've got you doing, though, is you're plotting the location of bomb fragments and attaching photographs of those bomb fragments to the database and the location file, which is helping to build up a 3D model. And, this software is actually quite cool. So they've managed to work out that the bomb blast came from a public trash can that was on the march route, and they've 3D modelled what the bomb looked like from the fragments that they found so far, and you could make this expand in slow-mo or contract it down to the original bomb. Hasn't got all the fragments yet, but it's still quite a cool piece of software.
Damn.
This is clearly on the corporate budget.
Yeah.
The FBI, they have these kinds of toys, but not quite this nice.
Yeah, alright. So I've got some stuff here, guys. I'm going to see if I can discreetly just copy as much as I can get my hands on. The other thing, Rid, can I also do a data search and try and find the file on Davian Fender?
Yeah, roll me an analyze.
Sure. Would it be analyze or would it be data search?
It's browse, yeah. Could you give me a browse roll?
4 hits on my browse.
You find out the basics. So he's the head of the New York State FBI, so he doesn't just cover New York City, it's like the whole of New York State. and he made his name when he was the lead investigator on the Long Island Flair serial murder case. And you also find out that he's pretty close with Senator Anthony Powell, which that's a name you recognise. The senator's pretty close with that politician whose blood you stole in a previous run.
Oh, charming individual. So...
You do also find a few other bits and bobs about him as well, like general career path, that kind of thing. But there's also... You're digging around on one of the internal NYPD Inc. message boards, and you find this thread about some guys from the 49th and a couple of other precincts. They're just bitching about the FBI and how high-handed they've been in the case. But you do also find that Davian's been shielded from a couple of investigations by the UCAS Supreme Court Justice Sidney Shaw. Seems to be accusations of enhanced interrogation.
Ugh. Let me guess. The people who were getting enhanced interrogation were guilty of existing wild trog.
There's not really any mention of it. It doesn't really say either way.
Lovely individual. Well, okay, guys, I think I've found some of why this case isn't going anywhere. Can I also just try and discreetly copy basically as much of the database that I can get my hands on?
Absolutely. However, I will need an edit file action followed by a stealth roll.
So, right.
It's amazing what you can do with Sixth World comlinks, fitting an entire fucking database on there.
Oh, actually, yeah, if it's got all, the photo and 3D data on there, yeah, that's quite a lot.
Yeah, that's some...
Your comlink cannot run the 3D model. I'm going to right out there and say that.
Yeah, back in first, second, third edition, when they had megapulses, your comlink would just be screaming at this point.
Yeah.
Luckily, we're in 4th edition, which is written in the computer age.
Okay, so I'll do my edit first. 5 hits on my edit unauthorized. Very nice.
Yeah, so you basically get the entire goddamn investigation database, and you actually see a new bit of data get pinged up and added to the model of the bomb. And it seems to have a different Anthony attached to it as the name of the officer that found it. It's not Anthony Powell, it's Anthony Williams.
What's all the Tonys on this case? Okay, you know what? I don't want to... I'm going to pre-edge my stealth roll, because I really need to pass this.
Yes, you do.
Ooh, 3 hits. That was a chuff roll. On that many dice, that was absolute chuff.
Okay, so you got 3 hits there, didn't you, Sunshine?
Yep.
Fortunately, they're currently engaged in seeing if they can get Doom to run on 6 potatoes and an old Casio calculator that somebody found.
Unpunch.
You bastard.
Thank you for spending some time with us and listening to the Pride Against Prejudice podcast. We hope that you enjoyed the show and look forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks' time for our next episode. In the meantime, we've all disguised ourselves as janitors or construction crew. Cops are a bit risky, but not unheard of. What's the weirdest disguise you've ever tried? Let us know on Discord. Anyone who's disguised themselves as something other than a metahuman will win a prize. The prize is nothing. Intro is More Human Than Human by Karl Casey, and the background music is also by Karl Casey. Outro music is Neon Thrills by Luck Hash, and all sound effects are credited in the show notes. The Tops Company Inc. has granted permission to the Pride Against Prejudice podcast to use such names, logos, artwork, marks, and or any other proprietary material for promotional and informational purposes on its website, but does not endorse and is not affiliated with the Pride Against Prejudice podcast in any official capacity whatsoever. All other works mentioned in this podcast remain the property of their respective owners. The Pride Against Prejudice podcast is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 license, so if you want to use any part of the show, please give us the credit. See you next time, chummers.